Thank you, Stefan. So, as you already introduced me, I'm Alexander Allmendinger, and we're running the certification lab for Europe. And the presentation is called All About Certification, but if I would provide you all the information about certification, that would be a whole day by itself, so we just scratch the top of it, but I hope to provide you basic information which helps you a lot. So, as Stefan already introduced, there's a new membership class, which is the UA logo member. And the goal of that one is to give all companies who are not corporate members the opportunity to get into the certification lab and to use the CTT for preparing for the testing. So the CTT is the compliance test tool. I'm going to introduce that one later on. And the real beauty of this new membership class is that there's almost no paperwork you need to do. So it's basically just signing the logo membership, because you're allowed to use the OPC UA technology logo with that membership class. And you need to sign that you know how to use it and use it in the correct way. And you would need to provide all the information about the OPC UA product that you're developing, or not developing, but selling to your customers. So the advantages for the development, of course, is you'll have, as I said, access to the CTT. It can be bought. It's not for free for the local members. It is for free for the corporate members. And same is, or kind of like that, it's with access for the certification lab. So the certification test labs are on a fee, and the corporate members, they get a discount for the testing, and that's basically the differences for the certification testing. Your local membership doesn't cost anything, just the time. So let's take a look at the certification process by itself, so the organizational stuff you need to do. So of course, you will prepare for the testing. That's the first step to do. After that, there's a registration wizard on the website. That one collects data about the product that you'd like to certify, collects data about technical contacts, just containing gaining the data that we need for doing the certification testing, to schedule it, and your availability, of course, because we might have some questions, so it doesn't make any sense to certify the product if there's no one available for helping. Next thing is the OPC Foundation will issue an offer, and you'll get the offer. With that offer, we're going to tentatively block the date you requested, or another one that we agreed on. With that offer, of course, we need the order for that certification testing, which then finally blocks the date. So we ensure that there's the capacity for your product in that certain time frame. After that, you submit your product. We're going to do some training. That we usually do that on the Monday, so that'll be usually the first day of testing. We always use 1 week, so Monday is training day, and then conduct the testing. Now, there are certain times where a product fails in some test cases. In that case, we do not leave you alone. We're going to provide you as much information about the problem that we can investigate. So we even go down on the wire and check the telegrams to help you investigate all that stuff. You can get remote access. You can be there in person. We can show you how to reproduce the issue, and then just give us another build of the product whenever it's ready, and we're going to continue the testing on that one. So after that, of course, there's the invoice. If there's an offer and an order, there's always been an invoice. And after the invoice, with the payment received, you finally got your certificate. So that's the organizational view. Now, more important is what's being tested. Of course, there's the compliance testing, but there are 4 more categories that we're going to test on. So compliance testing is the testing for the specification part. So do you act like OPC UA specification is specifying? Next thing is the interoperability testing. So we're going to check your product against products of other vendors. Third thing, robustness. Basically error recovery, so like connection breaks. Do you recover from that? The efficiency test, which is our long-term test. So we're going to run your product in a test scenario for 36 hours and check that everything's fine afterwards. And last thing is the usability. Usability basically tests the documentation. So whatever you define about or tell your customers about OPC UA, and does it help them? Is it in a good shape? Is it correct? So I'm going to get deeper into each one of those now to give you a better understanding of all that categories. So in the compliance testing, as I said, we're going to test all OPC UA specification parts that you have implemented. We're going to test all mandatory functionalities. But of course, we also do test optional functionalities. Now, there's one important thing about the optional functionalities. As I said, I'm going to get back to the CTT later on, but there are optional conformance units, and you shouldn't uncheck them for the testing. The reason for that is if a client is not doing a browse ahead of reading optional properties, and it receives a value for the read, then it's still available and therefore is tested. So it shouldn't have, for example, a null data type. And that's why we check that too. Then we're going to conduct tests to pass and tests to fail. Now what's that? Test to pass is a test case that we expect to succeed, like writing a byte to a byte. Pretty easy, should work for all data types. But we're also going to do tests which should fail, like writing a string to a byte node. How does the server handle that? What is the client doing in case of he's getting unexpected data type or requests that are not valid? Because that's the next thing we're going to do. We're also going to check if the server and or the client is able to handle invalid requests or responses. So we're going to just take something away or put something in that shouldn't be there and check that the UA product doesn't crash and it is giving the correct status codes. Interoperability testing. So you can do that testing, and I highly recommend that in the so-called interoperability workshop. So there are IOPS, that's a short term, in North America and in Europe, and so as far as I know, there's also some in Asia. Join them, and you can test your product against the products of other vendors. So if you have a client, you connect to different client servers. The beauty of that is, on the IOPS, there are the developers and testers of those products. So in case of you find something that's wrong there, you can debug that stuff with the developer of the other product. So I really recommend to do that. So we're going to test your product against 5 products from different vendors. That's how we do the interoperability, because we can't test everything against everything. That would just consume too much time. We're going to test all functionalities that both products are capable of doing. Connect, browse, read, whatever's implemented. We're going to test all data types, and of course we're going to test access rights. Now the reason for that is, for example, there was some misinterpretation of the specification in the beginning for the password encryption. Because you can encrypt your password in a different way with a different security policy than having the secure channel. And some servers didn't implement it exactly that way, but just used the security policy of the channel, and therefore the client wasn't able to connect. Now, that's why we test all of this stuff. So robustness. Robustness is basically checking if the product is able to handling lost communications. Is it able to recover the communication? So re-establish the secure channel, re-establish sessions, maybe reuse subscriptions. We're checking that the problems are self-contained. Now that's sometimes a tough one. If one session gets a bad behavior, it shouldn't affect any other. So the other client shouldn't get any thing to do with that one. We're checking that the correct quality or status codes are reported. And we're going to check that the user gets the critical information so that the end user is able to do investigations. Next thing, the efficiency testing, as I said, is our long-term test. Now, it doesn't make any sense to just let the product run for 36 hours. That's basically, senseless, and therefore we put the product under some load. Now, what's some load? Some load might be 1,000 nodes. So we're going to put 1,000 nodes for 5 products. So in case you have a server, we're going to connect 5 clients, each one consuming 1,000 dynamically changing nodes, and check for the CPU usage and the memory usage specs handles. We're going to monitor them for 36 hours and check for leaks. One of those clients we're going to put into intermittent communication. So we basically just cyclically break the network cable, so it doesn't really break that, but it acts like that. And then check, as I said, if there are any leaks within that. So that test basically combines compliance, interoperability, and the robustness tests at once. And that's why it's done as one of the last things. So, as I said, the usability is about a positive user experience. So we're going to record how is the product shipped to the user. Is it an installer? Is it just a zip file? Is it, does it have a valid documentation, and is it a good one? We're going to verify that the product uses OPC the correct way, and not as never been thought of. And we are checking that the product behaves like an end user would expect that. So basically, we're going to ensure that the user experience at the end will be positive. Now, Stefan already said something about companion specifications. So that's something that will be new. So for the companion specifications, there are basically 4 things that need to happen. One is, after the collaboration groups have finished their companion specification and released them, they need to define test cases on those. Then these test cases need to be developed as test scripts for the CTT. With those test scripts being developed, they need to be tested against example implementations or prototypes. And if the collaboration group says that all of those test scripts are good and valid, they're going to be in the next CTT release. And then, finally, the labs are going to certify according to those test cases. So, how to prepare for those, for the certification? So there are a lot of information on the certification portal, which is directly on the OPC Foundation website, so just check that out. There are 2 tools I highly recommend to check and to use. One of them is the profile reporting tool, and the other one is the compliance test tool. I'm going to talk about each one of those just now. So the profile reporting tool, that tool shows all specified test cases for all certifiable profiles and facets for servers and clients. So they are not just specifying the compliance test tool test scripts and test cases. They also specify the test cases that we are doing manually in the lab. So there's nothing secret about getting certified. You can find all test cases that we're doing and everything online. Those test cases are grouped basically by profiles, facets, and performance units. Now on the left hand, you'll see a list of profiles and facets that are available. Basically, you can just click on one of those, like I did with the standard UA server profile, And on the right hand, you'll find the information about the test cases. Now there are 4 options. You see them just about in the middle of the right hand side. By standard, the first option will be chosen. And that one just shows you the explicitly included conformance units. So the conformance unit is just a group of test cases for, for example, read call. To see all test cases that you would need to pass for the certification is you need to choose the second option, which is including all conformance units also from included profiles, and then you have a complete list. You also see in the third column the optional flag, if those those conformance units are mandatory and need to be implemented, or if they are optional. You find some descriptions, you see from which profile this test case is coming from, and at the right you see the test cases. Just click on open and you see a list of them and go through them. Next thing, most important for the preparation of certification is the CTT called Compliance Test Tool. The CTT includes all available test scripts for client and server and has a client and server mode for testing. There are some sample configurations available for the OPC Foundation servers. The CTT has a really good documentation that is installed with the CTT. Check that out. It describes a lot, like where do the certificates need to be copied to, which one needs to be trusted, which not. You'll find all that information in the documentation. It even has a command line interface, which allows you to include it in your build system for automated testing of your product, if you would like to. This part is also described in the documentation, so just check it out. And there's a section for user-defined test scripts. So you can add your own test scripts in case that you have something in your server or client that you like to test manually and write your own test scripts. If you think that they are important also for other vendors, we highly appreciate if you get them. And the CTT is available for Windows and Linux. Now, as you already saw, next thing is the configuration of the CTT. I'm just going to go through that for the server, because for the client it's kind of the same. And there are a lot more servers out there than clients. That's why we take a look at the server. So first thing you see is the startup wizard. So basically it just asks you if you would like to open or create a new one. So I choose create a new one. And you see the different, the combo box for the project type. So you either choose the standard server project or the standard client project. Give it a name, put it in some location. The other 2 options are just automatically filled in, but you can change them if you want to. Now, here you see a sample configuration for our OPC UA server. There's not that much needed, and it's pretty easy to use. So first thing, you need to specify the server URL, of course, but yeah, that's pretty obvious. Second thing is the settings. So you would need to specify the UA node IDs for each data type, for your specific UA nodes that have the available access rights, references, just everything you'd like to get tested, you need to specify that. Now, it would be pretty frustrating if you would need to put those UA nodes or node IDs manually in there, and that's why it has the browser interface built in. So you see that on the right hand, and you can open that by just use the button Open Browser, and with that one, you can easily just drag and drop those nodes into the settings of the CTT. And basically, that's it for the configuration. Last thing you need to do is to check which profiles or facets you'd like to test your server to. So you're just going to, in my case, I'm choosing the standard UA server. As you see, that one includes a lot of facets and some other profiles. And all of those checks are done automatically, so nothing for you to worry about. You just choose the profile you'd like to test your server against and just check that one. On the left hand, I changed the tab to the conformance units, and that's basically how you'll see or can check for the test scripts that are in the CTT. So you can just navigate through conformance units, through the test cases, and open them separately, take a look what they're doing. There are 4 different ways of running the scripts in the CTT. First one is with the red bar. That one runs all checked CTT scripts until the first failure, and then stops. Next one is running all available or all checked CTT scripts, and in case of there's a failure, it's just going to report that, but keeps on going. The third one is a single script run, so it just runs the actually open script. That's pretty good for debugging because in that case we'll see the script output and can check what the script is doing and when the server fails. And the fourth option is a debugging within the CTT. So you can run each line of code separately to debug your stuff in the server and verify or investigate the issue. So it's pretty straightforward and helps a lot. Now, last thing after the CTT is run, of course, we would need to analyze the results. And that's also made pretty easy by the CTT. So you'll find a list of all run test cases and some, if they succeeded, if there's a warning, because it took pretty long for them to succeed, or in case of an error, misbehavior of the server. And with that error, if you get some basic information. In that case, the server returned an invalid data type for the value as text option property. And the data type is null. So basically, the value as text wasn't even initialized, and therefore it returned wrong data type. So you see a text, it's describing why the script failed. And if that one doesn't help with the investigation, you need some further, or you would need to check the script where it actually failed. With a double click on one of those back traces, which you can open up, you'll jump exactly to that script in that line and can check what's going wrong there. Now, I already talked about a bit about the documentation. The documentation of the CTT covers a lot. The configuration, there are a lot of screenshots. It's pretty straightforward. It describes on how to write scripts, how to put it into your build machine. You can how to debug scripts, create own stuff. So everything you might need about the CTT is documented in there. And there are also videos available. So there are videos for overview, like I just did it, for how to do the server testing, how to do the client testing, because the client testing is more complex than server testing. For server testing, you can easily, the CTT just behaves like a client and fires test scripts against the server, so that's pretty straightforward. For a client, you would need to go or make the man in the middle and sit between the client, which is to be certified, and a certified server or a reference server, and basically change the requests and responses so you can do your tests. So that's a bit more complex, but it's explained in the videos. Go check them out, and in case that there are any questions about the CTT, don't hesitate to contact me, and I'm glad if I can help. So, wrapping everything up, what are the benefits of the certification? So, of course, you verified your OPC UA implementation. So, for yourself, you can be sure that everything is working correctly. Next thing, you show your experience in OPC UA, of course, along with the commitment for the technology. Because the gaining a certificate, as you now know, we test a lot more than just if it's behaving like it should according to the specifications, so we test more than that. So you really show the commitment. You verify that your product is reliable. and you maybe have, or you should have, less support ever. Now the reason for that is quite obvious. If you are using 2 OPC UA products and one of them is certified, who do you go to in case of failure? Not to the certified one. You check the other one. And the certified products are listed on the OPC Foundation website, so you can check that out. So, as I said, for checking the certification or the certificate, all our certified products are on the OPC Foundation website. You can check for the official certified logo, like you see it on that screenshot, and you also find it on the OPC Foundation website. And on the OPC Foundation website, you'll find the certified profiles and facets. And there are also the collaboration or the companion specifications being able to be certified. They'll be mentioned there too. So that's how we can, how you can take a look what product you like to use or check their certificate. So basically that's it for the certification, because I don't want to get very or much deeper into it. As I said, it would just take a lot more time. In case if you have any questions, you can just ping me. I'm around here till tomorrow evening, so just find me your questions.
Thank you very much. First of all, so are there questions here right now? At least one question. One question we have here.
What is the price for a certification for a corporate member? Is there already a definition?
Yes. It's less than $1,000 per year, $900 per day, and per day. And we calculated that the average, if you really prepare on your own, really good in time, you will make it within a week. Super duper prepared products made it in mostly 4 days. But if you prepare bad, then it becomes expensive, right? But this is exactly the risk which we took away from the foundation, that members just send their product to the test lab today, test it because it's part of my membership, right? So we had to run the lab, and that was part of the boring story. Okay, non-members have to pay more than double. Okay. Pardon?
How long, if it's a product is certified, how long is it?
The certificate is valid for 3 years. You need to recertify your product, and it also you also need to recertify your product if you make a major version change, because then we'd say if you do a major version change, because we are also certifying like the data collection, so gaining the data from the data source. That's also part, because you need to change your status codes. That's why we say if you do some changes that make you to increase the major version number, there are just that many changes that we'd like to recertify that for being compliant.
So again, my call for action for you. Remember when we started in the morning, top number 1 statement was OPC is secure and reliable. And this is a real value, that you can do a data and information exchange with whatever transport layer and whatever protocol and whatever client server pops up, whatever, but it's secure and it's reliable. And therefore certification, that you can trust this technology, is key. So vendors, of course, some of them by company rule go automatically to the lab and certify their products, right? But you as end users here, and I know that there are a couple of end users in the room, I really ask you, push your suppliers and ask for certification when you ask for a product. This is key. Don't be shy. You just have to order it, right? Only accept certified product. That would be most easy for you. Because there are a lot of benefits, but the biggest benefit is you get higher quality and you reduce cost on your side. Erik wants to say something.
Yes, so obviously you can run the CTTs yourself, right? So
Exactly.
Once you're certified, it should be part of your regression tests to after every change just to run through the script. It runs automatically, so it should just be part of your process.
Absolutely.
Now you know why end users like the tobacco companies, which I mentioned before, well, one reason why they joined the foundation, you asked me what are the benefits? Well, because also end users get the CDT and they can even run it against the products in their field and say, hey, what is this quality, right? Okay, thank you very much. In your list of